Hi Angels, this is Jess Markowitz, your independent Scentsy family director. I am doing a video today regarding recruiting. I personally don't like the word recruiting, but that's what it's called. And so what I like to call it is sharing the Scentsy blessing. And I've had many requests recently about setting time with me to talk about recruiting. So I figured instead of, since I'm only one person, it's really hard for me to set scheduled times for everybody that's out there. And so it's a lot easier for me to talk about it. And then if you have anything further to talk about, you can contact me and we can chat and clarify some things. Sharing the Scentsy blessing is actually very simple. Just like our core values are simplicity, it's very simple. You have to be talking to people and listening to who they are, what's going on in their lives, and never assuming that people don't need the extra income or the opportunity. That's one of the biggest mistakes most consultants do, is they assume that they know what other people need in their life. And you'll be sadly mistaken to find out that even if people are doctors, lawyers, have great careers that they went to school for forever, whatever, love what they do even, and that doesn't mean that they wouldn't still enjoy and would want the Scentsy opportunity, because it's not just only about money. A lot of people are looking for just something extra to do, something fun that they can say is their own. Angie Williams, our Shining Star recipient in 2011, she's a superstar director, and she was in the corporate America, vice president of a very large Fortune 500 company, and she joined Scentsy because she didn't want to be the boss of anybody anymore. She wanted to be able to once a week go have fun, put some testers on the table, and party with some people and share the fragrances and the products that she loved. And that's it. And it was the one time that she wasn't directing anybody or training people or doing whatever she was doing. And she was responsible for million-dollar accounts. And so her job was very stressful, and so she just wanted to have a little bit of fun. That's why she joined. Well, if you look her up, you can Google her and her story. It's a great story. She ended up losing her job, and that was a six-figure income. So because she had Scentsy in her back pocket, already joined, already was loving it, she goes, oh, well, maybe now I can just apply all of the skills that I have, that I've been running this huge company, and put it towards my business. And so now she's a superstar director making more than she worked at making there. That's just one example. There's also people like me. I was a stay-at-home mom that I have a few reasons why I joined. And one of them was I was really looking for something to get out of the house. I really needed time to myself. And I loved being a stay-at-home mom. I loved my children. It was a blessing. But when I got the opportunity and was presented to me that not only I could start making some money for my family because we were in dire need of money, but I had an opportunity to have mommy time. Time for me. Not mommy this, mommy that, I need this, everything. And then also just sitting in my house all day cleaning my house. Well, the house was clean by 12 o'clock. Immaculate. And had nothing else to do. Laundry was done, sitting, the kids were napping. What do I do with myself now? So Scentsy gave me an opportunity to have something to do. And so when they were napping at that time, they were both young, they were both napping at the same time, I was able to get and start training myself and labeling my products. And my business is obviously transitioned to something different now. But in the very beginning, that was one thing that I loved about it, is that it gave me something to do. Okay? Because everybody's situations are different, it's so important. When I told you in the very beginning is you have to be listening, you also have to be asking questions. Ask them, have they ever thought about something like this before? Ask them if they think that what you just did is simple or hard. And if they answer that they think that you just did this job that they just could never do, ask them exactly what it was. What did I do that you think that you can't do? And listen. Listen to them, because it's most likely an answer that you can overcome. Because if you give them all the different avenues of what Scentsy can do for you and how simple you can make it. Now, personally, a lot of people look at what I do and they say, oh, I can't do that. You're just too busy. Well, I choose to be as busy as I am. I made this my life. I made it my career. So this is something that I turned it into a job, but I don't never look at it as a job, but it's what pays my bills. So of course it's going to take my time. But everybody doesn't have to do that. They can literally say, I would like to have a party a month, and that's going to make me happy because I'll be sharing Scentsy, I'll be getting some commission back, make a little money, and for whatever reason, most people fear the unknown. It's because they don't know what's expected of them. So it's important for us to let them know what this is about, what all their options are. And again, every conversation is going to be different. What turns one person on to this company is going to be the exact opposite reason why the next person doesn't want anything to do with it. And it isn't for everyone, although you should be giving the opportunity to everyone so they can make a choice, whether it's for them or not. Because I promise you, I can't tell you how many of you on our team have been the people that other sponsors, as well as me, if I'm your sponsor, were the last people in the world that myself or other people thought would actually join. But the only thing that the difference was and that made you join is we asked. We said, hey, is this something you could do? Or why don't you join my team? Why don't you do this? And you couldn't find a reason why not to, right? Or you found a reason why you should. So think about what your sponsor did to get you to join. Did they just ask? Was there things that they were doing that you were watching that made you more interested? You just have to really sit back and think about your story. Your story makes a big difference in everybody else's story because then you're going to be able to relate to them and let them relate to you. It's really simple. Make sure they know who you are, what you're doing in this business, where you want to go. But again, just because you want to go to the top or you want to stay right at a certified consultant and you just want to make sell your products and buy your own products or whatever you want to do with it, that's simply a hobby, which is completely fine. We need people that want to do it just as a hobby because a secret is that we can't do it all. No matter how small or huge your town is, there is no possible way that one consultant or even 20 or 100 consultants can take care of all the people in your town. Whether, again, if you're in a small town or a big town. Now, you may think, well, she's wrong. I only live in a town of 300 people. Well, to give good customer service as well as still have time for your family and doing other things, I promise you, you're not going to be able to handle 300 people all at one time. So no offense to you, but no matter how great you are, you do need help. So let people know that you need help. And that's it. It's simple. And you've heard me say it's simple because it's simple. There's no rocket science. There's no secret of why I sponsor new people every single month. It's because, one, I'm looking for new people. I'm keeping my eye out, and I'm asking. And you must be letting everybody know that it's an opportunity that anybody can take, not just certain people that have certain circumstances. There's people that have full-time jobs that they have no intentions of quitting. They love their jobs, that are very successful in this business. There are people that have nothing, they have no other option but to join. Like me, I had no other option. But it also seemed appealing to me after it was explained properly. Because there were things that my sponsor told me about that the person I was buying from never mentioned one time in the many times I bought from her in over a year. So you're not going to get everybody to want to take the opportunity the second you give it to them either. It takes time. Their circumstances aren't always going to be the time to join your team. But the one thing that we all should know is that everybody that crosses your path knows that they have the option to join. That's it. And just be ready for them and let them know that you're ready to help them whenever they're ready to join. There's a list behind me, right up on this wall, right there. I'm pointing to it. Those are all the people that have shown interest recently that haven't joined. I take them off. I erase them once they join. That have shown interest and serious interest that I really do want to join this business, but it's just not the right time for me. So I put them on a list. So I remembered to follow up with them, because if you forget about them, they're going to forget about you, by the way. So you need to make a list and you need to contact them. And remember, it's not going to be the first time all the time. It may not even be the fifth time. But eventually, when the time is right, they will decide to join your team. But you have to make sure that you're willing to assist them to get started. All the tools are available in the training center, their startup guide, everything even if you are scared to sponsor because you think that you don't have the ability to train people, they have all the tools they need to be successful if they want it, if they want to be successful. But as a sponsor, one of our core values is generosity. So make sure when you're sponsoring people, you are willing to take some time out to help them get started and share with whatever knowledge you do have, share it with them and be available. Let them know that they can call you and ask questions. And if, obviously, when you're available, and you'll get back to them. It's really simple. But there's really no structure of how to sponsor and get people to join, because you can't get anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But the option is to give them the option and make sure they know it's there. The lady I bought from for over a year, I didn't know that it was an option because she never asked me and she never told me. Even though I read a catalog and the back of it, they all say, this startup kit, you could join for this is the structure. I never read it because I expected my consultant to tell me everything that's available to me. And so she lost out on me joining her team because the person that did tell me, I joined. So think about that. Are you letting everybody that buys from you and crosses your path and hosts a party know that you want them on your team and it's an opportunity that's available to them? If not, make sure that you start. Because when you start asking and telling them that this is something you'd like them to do and that they'd be great at, whether it's just a hobby or a possibility to turn into a business, they're going to start thinking about it. And then they probably will start asking you questions. And then you're going to start a relationship because they're going to want to know more about you and how you got into this. Every situation is different. You all joined a different story in a different way and different circumstance. So did I. So that's what makes me want you guys to realize that there's no system when it comes to joining. The only system is making sure everybody knows that it's available to them, and that's it. So don't make them feel like you're recruiting them. That's why I don't like the word recruit, because recruiting is for the military. They're just trying to find a bunch of bodies and make that number get higher. You don't want that. You want them to know that they are people and that you care about them and their well-being and that you want them to join for the right reasons that's going to benefit them. But there's a lot more when it comes to sponsoring because people's goals change and their whys change and they think that they want to be involved in learning and then they decide that they don't. And so there's a lot involved, but the blessing of giving the blessing is so valuable. And it's really actually an amazing experience when you see people bloom into flowers from little seeds. Plant your seeds everywhere you go by sharing the opportunity. And before you know it, you're going to have a garden full of flowers that you created. Have a great day.